Hello everyone. I'll walk you through the longitudinal section of a flower in this section. A flower is considered to be the organ of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. It is a condensed shoot which has floral appendages. The four most important floral appendages or whorls are the outermost whorl, calyx, which consists of units called as sepals. The second whorl, corolla, consists of units called as petals. Third whorl, called as androecium, consisting of stamens, the male part. The innermost whorl, gynoecium, which consists of units called as carpel or pistil. Carpel or pistil is the female part. Stamens are the male part. Each whorl has its own function to perform. Let's begin. Draw an oval, draw an U and two sticks. Oval, draw a U here below the oval and two sticks. Okay, now we will extend the parts. The outermost part, the sepal, starts from here. Now what does this area represent? This area represents the receptacle or the thalamus. So we can shade it. You can use your pencil to shade the diagram. From here, you can draw the sepals. Okay. Now, since it's a longitudinal section, when you cut the flower, it will be seen like this. So you can give two very thin lines over here. This is the outermost whorl, sepal, and its function is to protect the flower in the bud state. Second whorl is the petal. Now, very close to the sepal, you can draw the petal. So, petal. It's a petal. Similarly, you draw just two lines here, which shows that it's a longitudinal section of this flower. Shade the petals. The shape of the petals can be different. You can decide the shape of the petals. Now, what comes after the second whorl? Second whorl is androecium, which consists of units called as stamens. Let's draw stamen. A stamen has a filament, a very thin filament. So, draw double line. Thin filament, and the tip is bilobed. The anther is always bilobed. So, two-lobed anther. Now, depending upon the species of a flower, there can be many stamens. It can be 2, it can be 10, it can be 20s. It depends upon the species of the plant. So, right now, in order to avoid complication, I am just drawing only two stamens. Now, this center oval shape is going to be the ovary. Now, ovary has to be extended. Draw two lines. This part of the pistil is tubular, and this is a style, and this oval region is the base of the pistil called as ovary. And the tip of the style is expanded and becomes very sticky to attract the pollinators, and it is here the pollen grains will fall and they will germinate, and finally the pollen grains and the male gametes are deposited inside the ovule. So it can be bifork like this. Now what is there inside the ovary? There is an ovule. Now this wall of the ovary can be made slightly thicker. So draw one more oval shape inside, and make this part slightly thicker. This is the wall of the ovary. Okay. Now inside the ovary there will be placenta. So this is a strip of placenta. And the placenta will be having ovules attached to it. So these are the ovules that are seen attached to the placenta. Now since we have some space here, few more stamens can be drawn. Anther is always bilobed. And what is there inside the anther? The anther has pollen grains. Just draw some dots here to represent the pollen grains. And if you want, you can even shade this sepal. What is the function of this petal? The petal is brightly colored, and in entomophilous flowers, they will attract insects for pollination. What is the function of these stamens? They are the male part, and it has the tip or knob which is called as anther, which contain pollen grains, and each pollen grain contain male gametes. So when these pollen grains falls on the stigma, so the sticky part is called as a stigma, the pollen tube germinates and the male gametes will be deposited into the ovule. And what is there inside the ovule? The ovule has female gamete or an egg cell. So this male gamete fuses with the female gamete and forms a zygote, and that zygote becomes a future embryo. Let's start the labeling. Petal, anther and filament together forms a stamen, which is a male part. This is sepal, which is green in color and protect the flower in the bud state. Thalamus or receptacle, and it is from the thalamus that all these four whorls arise. This is the stalk of the flower. These are the ovules which are present inside the ovary. This oval shaped region is called as the ovary. Long tube is called as a style, and the tip which is sticky is called as a stigma. So stigma, style and ovary together is called as carpel. Carpel is also called as pistil. So this is how you draw the longitudinal section of a flower. This can be used for grade 10 as well as for grade 12. This is a topic in grade 12, second chapter, sexual reproduction in flowering plants.